In today's episode, I will show you how to design your own application in Visual Basic 2010 Express Edition to display census data in real time using graphs. In this tutorial, the famous DHT11 sensor will be used to access the temperature and humidity values. We will use these values to make a real-time weather station and display the temperature and humidity values on the graph. This tutorial also covers the circuit diagram, soldering, controller programming, Visual Basic programming and testing. This tutorial will really help you in designing advanced Visual Basic applications for Arduino, like for example ECG signal, motor RPM, pressure monitoring, and so on. You can download free ebooks from Amazon if you really want to develop your designing and programming skills. I will provide links in the description. Simply make an account and get access to millions of books about Arduino programming, desktop application designing, hardware designing, and much more. Check description for other Amazon free offers. And I'm also providing links if you want to purchase components used in this project. Let's get started. First of all, let's start with the datasheet of the DHT11 temperature and humidity module. This is the module that we're going to be using today in this episode. This datasheet consists of all the information that you want to know about a DHT11 sensor. For example, its product overview, applications, which clearly explains where this particular sensor can be used, the features, dimensions, product parameters, which is the most important part and you guys should give it a read. Electrical characteristics. This part of the datasheet tells about the voltage requirement of the DHT11 sensor. As you can see, DHT11 sensor can be powered up using voltage 3.5 volt to 5.5 volt DC. In my case, I'll be using the Arduino's 5 volt to power up this module. Pin description. As we know that DHT11 sensor has 4 pins. Pin number 1 is the VDD power supply and can be connected with 5 volt. Pin number 2 is the data. Pin number 3 is not connected and pin number 4 is connected with the ground. This is the basic connection diagram of the DHT11 temperature and humidity sensor. This circuit diagram is designed in Soft Eagle. If you want to learn how to make schematics and PCBs using Eagle, then watch my tutorials. So as you know that the DHT11 sensor has 4 pins and out of 4 pins only 3 pins are used. As you can see in the circuit diagram, the pin number 3 is not connected. As you can see, pin number 1 is connected with Arduino's 5 volt. Pin number 2 will be connected with pin 12 of the Arduino. You can also see a 10K resistor is connected between pin and pin 2. Pin number 3 is not connected and pin number 4 will be connected with the Arduino's ground. Now we will do the soldering. First I solder the DHT11 sensor to the Vero board. Then I solder one leg of the DHT11 sensor to keep it in place. I'm using helping hands for holding the Vero board and then start soldering the remaining legs of the DHT11 sensor. Make sure you don't apply too much heat as it can damage the sensor. Now I'm soldering a 10K resistor between pin 1 and pin 2 of the DHT11 sensor as per the circuit diagram. After soldering the 10K resistor, then start soldering the wires. Solder 3 wires with pin number 1 5 volt, pin number 2 data, and pin number 4 ground. So all the wires are soldered, and now let's interface this with Arduino. Connect pin number 1 of the DHT11 with 5 volt of the Arduino. Connect pin number 2 of the DHT11 with pin 12 of the Arduino. Finally, connect pin number 4 of the DHT11 with the ground pin of the Arduino. This is the program written for displaying the temperature and humidity values on the graphs. As the sensor that we are using is DHT11, so before you start the programming, first of all make sure that you download the desired library for DHT11 sensor. This library can be easily downloaded from GitHub. Once downloaded, copy and paste this into Documents, Arduino, Libraries folder. As you can see, I have already downloaded this. Then we start by writing #include DHT.h. Hash include means that it's a preprocessor directive, and .h means it's a header file. Then hash define DHT pin 12, which means that DHT11 is connected with pin 12 of the Arduino as explained in the circuit diagram. We have these three types of sensors, so uncomment whatever the type of sensor you are using. Is I am using DHT11, so that's why I have uncomment hash defined DHT type DHT11 and commented DHT22 and DHT21. This is the information about the electrical connections which I have already explained. Initialize DHT sensor for normal 16 MHz Arduino DHT pin, DHT type. So this is a function which is taking two arguments as the input, the DHT pin and the DHT type. Is we will be sending a string message consisting of the temperature and humidity values. So for this we will define some variables of the type string. String text for SMS, string humidity is equal to humidity, then string temperature is equal to temperature, string sign, then character from the computer, and white setup. As Arduino will be doing serial communication with a laptop or computer, so for this we will start the serial communication at a baud rate of 9600. This is the communication speed. Later we will use the same baud rate in the application as well. So serial.begin 9600, serial.println DHT11 test. Then we start the DHT11 sensor, which is the DHT.begin function. Then we start with a while loop, wait for a few seconds between measurements, so we are using a delay of 2000 milliseconds, which is equal to 2 seconds. So reading temperature or humidity takes about 250 milliseconds. Sensor readings may also be up to 2 seconds old. It's a very slow sensor. Integer h equals to dht.read humidity, which is a function to access the humidity values, and it is stored in h. Read temperature in Celsius, so integer t is equal to dht.read temperature, which is a function and used to access the temperature. So we'll be using these two functions, and we'll be using the variables h and t for accessing these values, and these are the instructions. Check if any read failed and exit early to try again. Now we will make a complete one message to send the temperature and humidity values and separate these values using comma. This comma will be used as a delimiter. So text for SMS equals to text for SMS plus the temperature plus then a semicolon and plus humidity plus then again a semicolon, and then serial.println text for SMS, and then we send this message. Then we empty the text for SMS, and then there is a delay of 1 second. So now we are done with the programming. Now time to compile the program for checking any errors. Click the compile button and wait for a few seconds. Connect Arduino and make sure you have selected the right board and the right COM port. Now click on the upload button and wait for a while. So now that we have uploaded the program, first of all let's check this using a serial monitor whether we are getting the values or not. Click on the serial monitor. As you can see, we can access the temperature and humidity values, so it means our programming is good. And now we will start the application designing. So my friends, before you start the Visual Basic application designing, first of all install the div components.net part 12.1.0.0. You can easily search for this using Google. So install this, and then after this open Visual Basic 2010 Express Edition. Make sure that the Windows Form application is selected. Start by selecting a new project. Give it a name with a station. First start by adding the reference. So first click on the project menu and then click on the add reference. Now click on the browse. then C drive, program files, and search for .NET bar for Windows Forms. Then select all the DLL files and click OK. Now the next step is to click here form1.designer.vb and remove this line. And write div components dot netbar dot office 2007 form, and we are done and save. Now we will design the form, so watch every step and don't skip. Once the form designing is completed, then I will explain the programming. So my friends, now click on the toolbox and add text box. It's been added here. Click on the multi-line. Now copy and paste. Also needing a serial board and also one timer, so we can go from here, and timer is equal to 1000 and enabled it, so it's true. Serial port is okay. Okay, the text box 1, this is text box 2, 3 and 4. For example, it's temperature. Copy and paste, and it's humidity. So my friends, as you can see, I just adjusted the boxes a little bit and increase the size. You can easily increase the size by dragging this, so I just increases the size. Now we will start the programming. So first of all, we will only read the values over here and then split those values and display the temperature and humidity values in its boxes. Then after that, we will be adding a graph to display these values. So the first, which is the most important step, is to receive the data and split it. So let's first do this. So my friends, double click over here, click over here and enter, and start by typing imports system.io and imports system.io.ports, which we use for serial communication, defining the input and output port. So, and we will also need one variable, and that is temp value 1 is integer. Okay, now with the form1 load, start coding over here. So we'll start with serial port 1 dot close. So close the port. If it's already open, so it will close the port, and then serial port 1 dot port name equals to COM5, as it's installed on COM5, and as the port that we have used 9600, so serial port 1 dot baud rate equals to 9600, and serial port 1 dot data bits equals to 8, and serial port 1 dot parity equals to parity dot none. Serial port 1 dot stop bits equals to stop bits dot 1, and serial port 1 dot handshake equals to handshake dot net. We don't need a handshake. And then serial port 1 dot encoding, which is equal to system.text dot encoding dot default. And then finally we will open the serial port, so serial port 1 dot open. So my friends, so far we covered how to access the serial port, and due to the tutorial time limitations I already did the programming, checked that it's working fine, and now I will explain the code. So this is the timer 1 code. So how to do this? Actually just open the form 1 and select the timer 1, as we have already set the time to 1 second, and now double click on the timer 1, and then you start coding from here. So before you start the coding, first of all I made a few changes. Those are dim value 1 as decimal. Previously it was declared as integer, then I changed it to decimal, and dim value 2 as decimal. So as I will be accessing two values, the temperature and the humidity value, so for that I need to two variables, the value 1 and the value 2. Later I will use these two values. So now let's start with this dim s as a string. So s will hold the values which we will receive in text box 1 dot text, and then plus we add the delimiters. Why we are actually adding this delimiters? If in case we are receiving an empty message from the microcontroller, then in that case it will add these delimiters with this with that empty message, so the format will be completed. The compiler won't generate any error. And then dim some string as string, split string based on the comma. Over here you can see if you are using any other character, then you can replace this with that one. So some string equals to s dot split new character and this. Then text box 2 dot text equal to some string. So as you can see, this is the text box 2, this is the text box 1, 3 and 4. So the text box 2 will have the value of temperature, text box 3 will have the value of humidity, and the text box 1 will have the complete message. Okay, so then try value 1 equals to convert dot decimal text box 2 dot text. So the temperature value which is in text box 2, that's actually a string type, so we will have to convert that into a decimal. So for that we are using this. Engage ex as exception, so text box 1 dot text which is empty. So if there is any error, for example, just empty the text box 1, but the program won't shut down or it won't generate any error. So text box 3 dot text, so similarly for the text box 3 we are converting the humidity value into the decimal, and then if there is any error it will just empty the text box 1, and then after that we are, after every 2 seconds, the text box 1 dot text, the text box 1 dot text automatically clear. So how this actually works, it's very simple. In text box 1 we are receiving a complete message from the Arduino, which consists of the census data having a comma as a delimiter. So then we are using the Visual Basic programming to split this that string message into values of temperature and humidity, and then we declare temperature value over here and the humidity value over here. So that's it. And now and then after that, this is a function, data receive function, and which is used for receiving data from the Arduino serially. So try my data a string is equal to, which is empty, and my data is equal to serial port 1 dot read existing. And then if textbox1 dot invoked required, then textbox1 dot invoked direct cast sub, which is a function, as you can see over here, textbox1 dot text end is equal to my data and method invoker, which is a function. Else textbox1 dot text end is equal to my data and if. So this if condition ends over here, and cage exs exception, so message box dot show ex dot message. So that's the basic program, and let's run this as the Arduino is already connected with my laptop. And now let's check whether it's working or not. So as you can see, we are receiving a string message over here, and now we are splitting that and displaying the temperature value over here and the humidity value over here. So far our program is working, and now we are ready to use these two values to display on graph. So for this, select a chart and add it to the form. And now let's do some settings to exactly as I do. Now let's add this code in timeout section for displaying the humidity and temperature values. I will provide a link in the description from where you can download this programming. So now that our designing and programming is completed, now let's play this application. I hope you liked today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video with your friends. See you in next episode, and thanks for watching.